What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Monday. It is May 13th, and we are back with another video. I apologize. We did not have a video over the weekend. I had meant to, but we had a family emergency, and we were in the hospital all weekend. And, yeah, it was a very long weekend. I hope everyone understands. I did mention it in the Discord, so if you were wondering and if you guys would like to get up-to-the-minute news and core plays and value plays, stacks and stuff like that, check out the Discord, because not only will we give you DFS advice, I will let you know what's going on a little bit. So if you want to check that out, in the description of this video is the link to Discord, where I kind of went over that there wouldn't be any videos or stuff like that through the weekend. We are back. Everything as of the moment is fine. It's just a very long weekend. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that. You guys are not here for that. So I do apologize. I was getting ready to film the video for Saturday, and then we had to rush 2 hours to the hospital. So very long weekend. But yeah, we are back. We have a pretty full Monday. I think 14 games for a Monday is pretty full. We're going to go over that. If you've never been here before, we go over everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single game. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the batters. After that, at the end of this video, we run simulations during the video. We're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So that is towards the end of the video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. In the description of this video is also the article for today, which you can find. Website is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can sign up for a free, or for a week, a month, a year, or a lifetime pass as well with FTA+. We did just add a weekly pass for $10. So if you want to check it out, go check it out. So what we're going to do is we also have giveaways. So if you've never been here before, we have 2 giveaways every single day. First way to win: like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on this video. If this video gets at least 50 likes and you've left a comment, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That includes every single sport that we offer. We did bring back MMA this weekend. It wasn't as good as I would want. I didn't get simulations out because of everything that happened, but I will be having simulations out there. We have our cheat sheet out there. You can check that out. So current sports that we are doing: MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. We did put NBA on the back burner. The videos and the articles, most of you guys weren't playing them, the majority of them, so I went away from that. The majority of everyone right now is playing MLB right now. So that is for a free week of FTA+ with 50 likes. 100 likes on this video, someone will win a free month. 150 likes is a free $200 year. And if this video or any video ever get 200 or more likes, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass. Second way to win: like the video and tell me who you think is going to hit a home run and what inning are they going to hit it in. You get both of those correct, take a screenshot of your comment on this video and email me dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up for a free week of FTA+. So this is going to be from the winner of Friday's video. So again, it was a minute. I understand that. I do apologize. But we had 87 likes. We had 38 comments on that video. So someone is going to win a free week, and it could be you. You could win every single day. We've had multiple people win. Last week we had someone win twice in a row. So the winner from Friday's video is Michael Swick 111. He has won in the past. Congratulations, Michael. Thank God it's Friday. That was my thought process until it wasn't on Friday. So congratulations. If you see this, Michael, hit me up. I cannot recall your username. Just let me know your username on the website, either on this video, or the easiest way would be to email me or Discord as well. So congratulations. You can come back the next day, and the next day. You can continue to win. So just kind of we're looking at some of these games here. The Astros have the highest implied run total for a team at the moment with 4.98, but Oakland has been hitting very well, and Spencer Arrighetti has not been good. They could be a sneaky team here. So you can kind of see this is just the MLB odds under the MLB tab. So if you go here, we've got all of this information for you if you want to check that out. that is for you guys under MLB tab. So we are going to jump right into the games. We've got a couple of games early. So we have these 2 games right here that are on the early slate. So let's dig in. Let's take a look. Let's have a fantastic Monday and start to this week. The weather started to be beautiful. We've got great baseball. We had good baseball all weekend that I could watch when I had time. So we've got the Blue Jays at the Orioles. You got Jose Barrios versus Corbin Burnes. 2 fantastic pitching options, especially on an early slate like this. Barrios, 170 plate appearances, a 295 batting average. So they've actually seen him pretty much a low walk rate, a little bit lower K rate, and they've been hitting well. But we are going to dig into those numbers and see if the bats make sense. Then we look at Corbin Burnes. 47 plate appearances, a 200 batting average, 19.1 K percentage. We know that both of these guys are studs, but let's see who's actually had their numbers. So Barrios, not sure if it's going to be, so like a lot of these batters, O'Hearn would have seen Barrios a ton when O'Hearn was with the Royals and Barrios was with the with the Twins. You can see O'Hearn batting 280, 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Cedric Mullins, 3 doubles, a home run. James McCann, 8 for 24, 2 doubles and 4 home runs. Anthony Santander, 6 for 20, a double and a home run. Adley batting 625, 10 for 16, 2 doubles and a home run. Adley could be the play of the day at catcher, or overall has the best numbers. Now, people have asked me, what do I look for in like BVP? So obviously you would like to see at least 20 plate appearances, but if you see someone who's like 10 for 16, or you see someone that's like 7 for 7, they obviously see something in this pitcher that they've taken advantage of, and you can't ignore that. Ryan Mountcastle, he's 2 for 16, which is a 125 batting average, but those 2 hits were home runs. Tournament play, Mountcastle would be a tournament play. If you're, that's be like a one-off, but if you're stacking, you've got to get these guys in there. Cedric Mullins batting 9th normally. I don't know if I like that. I would look at an Orioles stack here. Again, it's a 2-game slate, or if you're playing an all-day slate on Fanduel, I get that. But O'Hearn, the plays that I would look at, O'Hearn, I don't know if James McCann's going to be in there. Santander, Rushman, obviously you got to get Rushman in there. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. You could always have the one-offs. You got Gunnar Henderson, who is 3 for 15. You got Jordan Westberg, who's never faced him before. Heston Kjerstad, if he's still up. I don't know if he got sent down over the weekend. It was a very long weekend. Those would be plays that I would look at for the Baltimore Orioles. If we are looking at, Toronto bats, I mean, Corbin Burnes he's had success. Toronto, they're very up and down. I'm probably leaning towards the Oriole bats here, and I'm probably leaning towards Corbin Burnes. I don't think that's a surprise. 2.83 ERA. While he's had some good games here, it's been a minute. It's been since April 9th since he's had like a dominant performance. Now, what I mean by that is when you look at a price. So you look at the player, 9,400, you're looking for at least 2 times value. That would be my minimum floor that I would be looking at. So basically, you're looking for 18.8. So he hit it here against Oakland. He just missed it against New York. He gave up 3 earned runs against the Nats and lost that game there. So he is expensive, but we look at this. There's 4 pitchers to choose from on this early slate. I'm probably not playing this early slate, but I wanted to give you guys that opportunity to look at it. Then you got Matt Manning, 14 plate appearances, 545. So there's not much going on. Sixto Sanchez also, there's not much between these 2 pitchers. You got Manning, he's got a 4.24 ERA. Had a couple of good games here. It is against Miami, but they've hit him. A small sample size, but they've still hit him. Then you got Sixto Sanchez, 7.50 ERA. Has not done much. Obviously, I'd be looking at Detroit bats. Now, again, I'm probably not playing this early slate, but if I were looking at get guys here, batters against the opposing pitchers, Jesus Sanchez, Otto Lopez, Jake Burger, Jazz, Brian De La Cruz, Josh Bell from Miami would be the ones I'd look at. Flip side of that, Detroit. Riley Green has been on fire this year. Jake Rogers, Mark Canha, Kerry Carpenter I would look at. Spencer Torkelson I would look at as well. Hit a home run for us yesterday. Our sports bets went off. I think we went 5-0, or I had 5 bets on the table yesterday. I put most of them were 1+ hit bets, and I put a 5-legger out there on DraftKings. 4 of the 5 hit, and JT Realmuto just didn't play yesterday. So it went from a free $25 bet to win $195 to win $95, which is crazy because Realmuto got pulled out at $100, went off the table. A profit is still profit. But yeah, so Torkelson had a home run yesterday. Maybe he's heating up. Again, playing a small slate like this, got to get creative here. I don't think I would use either of these pitchers. I think it'd be these two. And I guess if I were to be one, it might be Matt Manning. But yeah, I'm not in love with this early slate. So that brings us to the main slate. We've got a 12-game main slate. You got the Boston Red Sox versus Tampa Bay Rays. You got Zach Eflin versus Cutter Crawford. Eflin, 63 plate appearances, a 304 batting average. Cutter Crawford, 54 plate appearances, a 160. So we look at this. Cutter Crawford still has a 1.75 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced Tampa Bay this year, but he's pitched a 1.90 ERA at home with 22 K. So very even games started and innings pitched versus home and away. Cutter Crawford obviously makes sense. Tampa Bay's offense, they did put up some runs against the Yankees this weekend. They still lost the series. They still have not looked the best the whole year, which is crazy. Just some of the things that have happened to some of these teams this year just doesn't make sense to me. While Boston's not the best, I do like Cutter Crawford here. You do have Zach Eflin, 8,200, 3.75 ERA. Splits-wise has not faced Boston this year. Pitching on the road, he is worse on the road at 4.77 ERA. While I'm probably sticking with Boston bats here and Cutter Crawford, Devers, Tyler O'Neill, Wilyer Abreu, Jarren Duran would be the ones that I'd look at. Depending if they're in, Connor Wong you could look at. Reese McGuire you could look at, depending on which catcher is in there. And that's probably it for the bats in this one. Tampa Bay bats, I really just don't like anything about them. I'd rather focus on Cutter Crawford. I don't want Eflin. I want the Red Sox bats, and I want Cutter Crawford today. Next game, Phillies at the Mets. You got Christopher Sanchez versus Sean Manaea. Sanchez, 49 plate appearances, 250 batting average. Manaea, 38 plate appearances, a 169. Not the best. Not a huge sample size, though. If you just look who's had success, Whit Merrifield's 4 for 8, which is a 500 batting average, so that bumps it up. Bryson Stott's 2 for 3 with a home run. That's a 667. Nick Castellanos, 5 for 8 with a double and 2 home runs, 625. Alec Bowman and Sosa both have home runs for them as well. Digging into that a little bit, it just depends. You got Manaea here, 3.31 ERA. Not the best outings here. Had a good outing here, but other than that, and the first 2 outings of the year, kind of been lackluster. You see him pitching at home, a 4.30 ERA, which this is a pitcher's park. It's a massive ballpark. I am probably off Manaea. I am probably looking at Philly bats and Sanchez as a pitcher for me in this ballpark. So I know Kyle Schwarber, boomer bust, but I would look at him. I would look at Brandon Marsh. I absolutely love Bryce Harper. Love Alec Boehm. He's been dominant this year. While Castellanos has had success in the past, he's just looked bad this year. I don't think Realmuto is hurt. Again, over the weekend I didn't get to see a ton of information, but maybe Sundays are usually the days catchers rest. He usually dominates lefties. I would look at Realmuto as well. You could look at Bryson Stott a little bit too. Whit Merrifield, maybe. I just don't know if he'll be in the lineup. Mets bats, if you don't go Chris Sanchez, JD Martinez, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Lindor, DJ Stewart would be what I'd look at. But I am probably looking at Sanchez as a pitcher and the Philly bats over Manaea and the Mets bats. Cubs at the Braves, you got Shota Imanaga versus Reynaldo Lopez. Imanaga has been unbelievable this year. He's the most expensive, or second most expensive pitcher on this slate. Where is he? He's the third most. Lopez is the second. This is wild. Imanaga, 1.08 ERA, 5-0 record, 0.82 whip. Does have a tough matchup here against the Braves. And we can see 7 starts on the year, pitching on the road. He's actually got a .48 ERA, so he's been better on the road. Could be a sneaky option today. I love me some Amanaga every single day. All of his matchups have been tricky, but he has come through and dominated for everybody. Lopez is unbelievable as well. We look at Reynaldo Lopez, second highest priced pitcher on the slate. At the beginning of the season, if you would have told me he would be the highest price, I would have called you a liar. 153 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 1.13 whip. Couple of down starts against both Boston and Seattle where he did give up some earned runs. Splits-wise, pitching at home, does have a .98 ERA. This could be a low-scoring game, to be honest. If you think Reynaldo Lopez is going to get dominated or give up some runs, Chris Morel has been absolutely on fire this year. Every time I look on the box score, he's part of the scoring somehow. Home run, extra base hit, sac fly. He is involved in the box score almost every single night. Cody Bellinger could be a play here. You could look at Mike Tauchman if he's in there. I don't know if he will be. Patrick Wisdom did have a home run yesterday. I was going to put a Patrick Wisdom home run bet in there yesterday, and at the hospital there wasn't very good reception. My bet never went through. Of course, he had a home run. That's how it goes. Another one you could look at, Pete Crow Armstrong. I don't mind him as a pick either. If you think Amanaga is going to get lit up, which I personally do not, but again, I'll let you know tomorrow if I'm wrong. Ozuna usually hits lefties well. Acuna hits lefties well. Austin Riley, Travis d'Arnaud would be a cheap catching option on this one. An even cheaper option in the outfield would be Adam Duvall in a Brave stack. But honestly, I think this could be a low-scoring pitchers duel here. I love both of these pitchers. I think both of them are great options. They are expensive, though. They definitely are expensive. So, we move on to the next game, the Nationals at the White Sox. Trevor Williams versus Chris Flexen. Now, Trevor Williams has been pretty damn good this year. 56 plate appearances, a .229 batting average. We see, and the fact is, Trevor Williams is all the way down here at 7,300. He has a 1.96 ERA. 30 strikeouts. So the strikeouts are a little bit lower, but you look at this. He has not given up a home run all year, so hopefully this doesn't jinx it. Okay? Is facing the White Sox, which they are the worst team in baseball. Is a little bit worse on the road, but guys, I'm looking at this. Trevor Williams at 7,300 is going to go overlooked today because he's on the Nationals. But they're facing the White Sox. The White Sox are bad. You just look at this. Trevor Williams, like if you were just a fish playing some DFS, you probably wouldn't come down here. You would probably look at Eflin, which I'm not looking at. Trevor Williams is there at 7,300. I think he goes under owned. Batting wise, I'm not going to be looking at the White Sox bats. You could look at some of the Chicago bats because you do have Chris Flexen. He's even further down at 5,800. 4.29 ERA, game log. He's coming off a fantastic start. We actually used him against Tampa Bay. If you guys recall, in that game 5 days ago, I said Chris Flexen could be a good option because Tampa Bay is bad. 6 innings, 8 Ks. Dominant performance at 29.1. We cashed everywhere at 5,800. You could look at him here for a tournament. I think Trevor Williams is your cash option. I think Flexen is your tournament option. I'm really not looking at bats in this one. I'm looking at both of these pitchers. I don't want anything to do with the bats. I did forget to mention, these are, I think, tournament-only options. I'm not looking at cash at the moment. Again, though, the price is just so good for both of these guys. You could pair either of these guys up with one of the top options on the slate, and you could still have a good game. So I'm not looking at bats. Once the simulations are done running and we go over those, I will then let you know. I did forget to mention at the beginning of this video, every video I'm going to have a third chance at a giveaway. So there's going to be a keyword somewhere in this video that you guys can comment on this video to make sure you guys are watching the entire video. And if you comment that key video, you will have a second chance to win with the random.org or the random comment picker. So that being said, stay tuned. Let's put it that way. So Pirates versus the Brewers, you got Mitch Keller versus Colin Ray. Mitch Keller, 82 plate appearances, 333. Colin Ray, 41 plate appearances, 270 batting average out of him. So we come down here, okay? You got Colin Ray here. Not the up and down. You can see his ERAs are a little bit up there. He's a little bit better at home. Has not faced Pittsburgh this year. Game log wise, coming off a bad game against Kansas City. Good game against Tampa Bay. Bad game against the Yankees. Couple of mediocre games there as well. Probably not taking him against the Pirates. You do have Mitch Keller, 5,200 or 9,200. If he's 5,200, you pull that trigger. Fantastic game against the Angels. Splits-wise, he's already faced Milwaukee once this year. Gave up 4 earned runs with a 7.20 ERA. Probably not looking at Keller. I would if his price was down there. But we look at the bats in this one. O'Neal Cruz. A cheap catching option could be Grandal. Rowdy Tellez would be a cheap option. Andrew McCutchen leading off, I'd love. Brian Reynolds, I'd look at. Jared Triolo, I would look at. Those would probably be the bats that I would look at. Brewers bats that I'd look at. Obviously, William Contreras has been absolutely on fire. Oliver Dunn would be a sneaky option. Gary Sanchez, depending if he is in there, could be a sneaky catching option today. Or probably DH. Willie Adames, Rhys Hoskins. So I'm probably off of the Mitch Keller train. I'm probably more on the bat train here. Overall, I don't love these pitching options. I think if I were to take one, it'd be Colin Ray as a tournament option because he's just so cheap compared to Mitch Keller. Guardians at the Rangers, you got Tanner Bibby versus Michael Lorenzen. Bibby, 42 plate appearances, 256. Lorenzen, 35 plate appearances, 194. So both have had success against the opposing teams, but we dig into the numbers a little bit. Bibby is right here, 8,400, 4.91 ERA, so it is up there. Not a good game against Detroit, not a good game against the Angels. Had a great game against Atlanta and a great game against Oakland. But we look at this, has not faced Texas this year. On the road, he's actually better on the road at 2.11 ERA. And somehow, the defending world champion Rangers got swept in Coors. Did not put up the runs I thought they would put up in. That's wild that that's what they did in Coors. I think the Rangers make a good tournament stack. I just don't know if I trust them. Bibby's been better on the road, and they are coming off a sweep in Colorado against one of the worst teams in the major leagues. I don't know what's going on with Texas right now. Was it a fluke last year? What is going on? I don't know. If we are looking at bats, well, then we could look at Michael Lorenzen. He is... Did I overlook him? There he is. 7,400, 4.66 ERA, pitching at home. Does have a worse ERA at home, 7.50. Only one start, though, but it was not a good start. Has not faced Cleveland this year. I'm probably off of the pitchers in this one. I'm probably looking at the bats. I'm looking at Naylor. I'm looking at Freeman. I'm looking at Jose Ramirez. David Fry could be a cheap option. Estevan Flor. I think a lot of people are going to be on Florial. But if I were to take a cheaper option here, I think it'd be David Fry. You could look at Bo Naylor a little bit. Those would be the ones that I kind of look at. Texas bats, I don't know what we're going to get, but Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien. You could look at Nate Lowe, see if he gets in there. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. Maybe a little bit of Robbie Grossman. I don't know if he'll play. I think he platoons against lefties more than righties. So that is where I'm at. But honestly, I'm probably off the pitchers here. Now, Lorenzen has had success. 35 plate appearances, basically a start and a half against the Guardians in his career. He just has not pitched well overall this year. Has not pitched well at home. But if you want to take that, because again, it's one sample size at home, you could look at Lorenzen a little bit, just a little bit. Athletics at the Astros, you got Ross Stripling versus Spencer Aaron Getty. To be honest with you, I don't mind Stripling here. He is cheap. He's 6,200, 5.14 ERA, coming off a terrible start against Texas. Has not faced Houston this year. Pitching on the road, a little bit better ERA on the road. We know the Astros. I don't know what's going on with the Astros. Tournaments, I'm okay with Stripling. But honestly, I'm probably looking at bats in this one overall. You do have Aaron Getty here. Somehow he's 7,200. He's got an 8.44 ERA. Game log. Got dominated by the Yankees for 5 earned runs. Did okay against Cleveland. Really hasn't done very well. He has a good matchup here against Oakland, but Oakland has been mashing, which is weird to say. Oakland has been looking very good this year in certain games, and they've been mashing. So I'm definitely off of the pitchers in this game. I'm looking at the bats, which is odd to say. I kind of personally like Oakland bats a little bit more than the Astros. The Oakland bats I would look at would be Brent Rooker, Shea Langoliers. I would look at Lawrence Butler, Esteury Ruiz, Abraham Toro, Tyler Nevin, on JJ Bleday. Like, I think an Oakland stack could be sneaky tonight. Astros bats that I look at: Yordan, Kyle Tucker, Jose Altuve, Yainer Diaz, Jeremy Pena. Those would be the ones that I feel the most confident against. Now, depending on when the lineup comes out, there might be some value plays that open up. Like, say, a Jake Myers. He's not going to, but towards the top of the lineup with his price could be a cheap option. Trey Cabbage could be a cheap option. I don't think they're going to be, but those could be definitely one. So I am off of the pitching here. I'm looking at the bats. Cardinals at the Angels. You got Matthew Liberatore versus Jose Soriano. So you got Liberatore here. Somewhere, right? Or wait. So is Liberatore going to be an opener? So you're not using Liberatore. Kyle Leahy is going to be the long relief player. You look at his game logs, not much going on there. It's apparently what it looks like. Versus Soriano, who's only faced one of those bats. So we look at Soriano. It's got a 4.32 ERA. Splits-wise, pitching at home in 3 games. 2 of them starts, 11.42 ERA. I'm probably looking at the bats in this one. For sure. I'm not looking at the pitchers at all. We can look at these bats real quick. Cardinals bats, Paul Goldschmidt's been heating up. I would look at him. I'd look at Lars Nootbaar. I would look at Alec Burleson. I would look at Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, and Nolan Arenado. Angels bats, it's basically Logan O'Hoppe, Taylor Ward, Joe Adell would be the main ones. You could look at a little bit of Nico Goodrum if he's in there. Willie Calhoun would be a cheaper option too. I don't. Liberatore's probably going to go 1, maybe 2 innings, and then Leahy's going to, if that's correct, the news has not dropped yet, I would still look at those bats. So I'm not looking at either pitcher. I would definitely look at the opposing bats, though. You got the Reds at the Diamondbacks. You got Graham Ashcraft versus Jordan Montgomery. Ashcraft, 64 plate appearances, a 259 batting average. Montgomery, 93 plate appearances, a 264. So it has looked pretty good for the most part for Montgomery. They're right next to each other in price on DraftKings. Montgomery has a 4.7 ERA, but he just faced this team his last start. 7 innings in a worse ballpark, 2 earned runs, only 2 strikeouts. The strikeouts were low. 14.4 is what he did. They dropped his price down $200. I would still look at Montgomery. I think we could see... I think we're still going to see more than 2 strikeouts. I think that's probably what we're going to see. So 2 or more I would say probably right around 5. If he could go 5 with less than 3 earned runs, that would be a good start for him. Then Ashcraft against Arizona. Just faced him last time, gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings, 2 strikeouts, 3.3. I am probably off of him. I would rather look at the bats on this side. So if we look at the bats, take a little gander. If you think Montgomery is not going to have a good start, Ellie De La Cruz being a switch hitter, Tyler Stevenson normally hitting lefties well, Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Jonathan India is what I'd look at. I'm more so leaning towards Montgomery, though. Arizona bats that you would look at, Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker. Those would be the top 3. I would look at Lourdes Gurriel Jr., I would look at a little bit of Blaze Alexander. Corbin Carroll's been heating up lately, but he has not had a stolen base in almost a month. which is wild. But he's been heating up a little bit. I would look at him as well. Eugenio Suarez against his former team, I would still look at him as well. So we wanted the revenge factor last week. I don't think he did much against them. Let's check it out. He did have a good game there. Had a home run against them back at his old ballpark. Now he's hitting at home. I don't mind him. Only batting .216, but if you are taking a Arizona stack, I definitely think Suarez needs to be in that lineup for you. Then we got the Rockies at the Padres. You got Dakota Hudson versus Randy Vasquez. Honestly, we look at this. Vasquez and Hudson are down here. So Hudson, 6.35 ERA, has already faced San Diego once this year, 3.1 innings, 6 earned runs. I'm not looking at him. I believe that was at home, yes, which is understandable. But you look at Vasquez, 4.50 ERA, game log wise, splits wise, he already faced Colorado. Yeah, 4 earned runs in that game. That was at Colorado just 3 weeks ago. I'm not looking at either of these pitchers. I am looking 100% at the bats in this game. I do not trust either pitcher, even though it's in Petco and it is a pitcher's park. I am not looking at that. Colorado bats that I'd look at would be Ryan McMahon, Sean Bouchard, Montero. You could look at Brendan Rodgers, Ezekiel Tovar. I don't mind those guys. Padres bats, Machado, Tatis, Cronenworth, Profar, Jackson Merrill. Those would be Luis Ariz. Those would be ones that I'd look at. So I do not trust either of these pitchers. I would look at the bats in this game for sure. Even though it's a pitcher's park, I do not trust either of these guys. Then you got the Royals at the Mariners. You got Brady Singer versus George Kirby. Singer, 93 plate appearances, a .226 batting average. Kirby, 33 plate appearances, .344. So I think more people are going to be on Kirby. He's 9,000. Up and down this year. 3.74 ERA, 45 strikeouts. The strikeouts are there. Has not faced Kansas City this year. Pitching at home, does have a better ERA at home, but the Royals have been one of the surprise teams this year, which has been wild to see. And then Singer's right next to him at 8,800, 2.37 ERA, 46 strikeouts. Pretty good numbers overall. Has not faced Seattle this year. Pitching on the road, he's actually a little bit worse, but it's only 2.7 ERA. I'm probably looking at Kansas City bats and Brady Singer. I don't love the Kansas City bats, but that would be kind of the one I would go with if I were to pick and choose. The bats that I would look at would be Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, MJ Melendez, Michael Garcia, maybe a little bit of Nelson Velasquez. If you were to go against Singer and you wanted Mariners bats, Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper, J-Rod, a little bit of Mitch Haniger, maybe Josh Rojas would be the ones that I would look at in that game. And then the final game, you got the Dodgers at the Giants. You got Gavin Stone versus Jordan Hicks. This is a massive pitcher's park. Hicks has faced only 26 plate appearances, a .263. We look at that. Let's see. Where's Jordan Hicks? There he is. 7,800. 13.9 out of Colorado. Philly, 6.2. Pittsburgh, 26.5. Has not faced the Dodgers this year. Pitching at home, he does have a better ERA at home, and I think he'll go under-owned. So they've got Yamamoto here, which this should be his start. So I don't know if Gavin Stone is opening. Yeah, I mean, obviously Yamamoto pitching in this ballpark would make sense. He has not faced the Giants this year. If it's Yamamoto, he makes a lot of sense. I think Jordan Hicks is going to save you a ton of money. I don't know what's going on with Gavin Stone. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's going to be Gavin Stone. I think it's going to be Yamamoto. Again, let's wait to know, but I don't want to jump into anything at the moment, depending on who it is. So that's what we're going to cover right now. We can look at that, but the key word for this video is going to be hospital. The keyword is hospital. So comment the keyword hospital down below if you are still watching. So that being said, we are going to look at the top 20 bats to see after 10,000 simulations who make sense. And these can change, and these will change, but these will be under our MLB tab, under simulations right here. These go over batters and pitchers. So we'll go over the batters here to let you know after 10,000 simulations. So number 1 at the moment is Elly De La Cruz. Number 2 is TJ Friedl. 3 is Dalton Varsho. 4 is Spencer Steer. 5 is Corey Seager. 6 is Riley Green. 7 is Mike Ford. 8, Gunnar Henderson. 9, Tatis Jr. 10, Abraham Toro. 11, Mark Canha. 12, Jake Cronenworth. 13 is Brian Reynolds. 14 is Kyle Tucker. 15 is Matt Vierling. 16 is Mookie Betts. 17, Lindor. 18, Marcus Semien. 19, Adolis Garcia. And number 20, right now, through 10,000 simulations, is Ryan McMahon versus Randy Vasquez. Now, I am surprised at a Cincy for the bats. A surprise stack at the moment after 10,000 simulations is Cincy bats. I don't know if that'll be the same, but let's watch the trend. So watch the bats now from 10,000 simulations to looking at 20,000 simulations. Now, we'll look at the pitchers real quick. We'll see. So we'll just go to the top 10 pitchers on the entire slate through 10,000 simulations. Amanaga, number 1. Number 2, they have George Kirby. Number 3, simulations show Corbin Burns. 4, Brady Singer. 5, Spencer Aaron Getty. I don't trust him. 6 is Cutter Crawford. 7 is Zach Eflin. 8 is Jose Soriano. 9 is Matt Manning. And 10 is Randy Vasquez. I don't agree with Randy Vasquez at number 10. I don't agree with Spencer Aaron Getty at number 5. Those are off to me right now. And those are where you got to find the discrepancies and not only go off of simulations, but go off of what we've talked about. Go off of statistics as well. So those are the top 20 bats. Those are the top 10 pitchers after 10,000 simulations. Go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!